everyone, it's Anya here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Crafts. So this is the card we're making today. It is the birthday card for my daughter that I had to design because I have shown her every other card and every other stamp set that I've got, of course, and you know, I didn't hold one back. I'll know better next year. But yeah, so this is the card. In the previous tutorial I showed you my sort of what was a sort of a template of a card, the idea, but not exactly this card yet. So this is the card we're making. Now I am not going to mention any of the measurements because that's just too confusing for me. What I do have is a free download on my website, so go to my website. It's in the down bar below. I'll link it, and you will have to buy the download there, but it's free, so it's £0, and you can just download it. So it's a piece of paper. It has all the measurements for all the panels, so for the panels and the mats, and for the actual card as well, and it states them in imperial and metric. So for all of you out there, and once you go through the process of buying it, you know, for free, you will get an email as well, and you can click on that link and that will just bring it up into your iPad, into your whatever device you're using, or also if you towards the end in the buying process, you will be able to click on it and it will download onto your computer. So that's you know, something there for your reference to use. Very handy, so do go and have a look at that. So those are all the measurements you need for this card. This is Perfect Plum and Rose Red. Today I'm using, quite daring for me I think, crumb cake and so saffron. We'll see what that effect is going to be like. Okay, so we're using the Birthday Blossoms stamp set. I'm also using the Project Life cards and labels framelits because I'm using this for the sentiment, and you'll see what I do with how I look. This is longer, so you'll see how I cut that down. And I'm also using this embossing folder because this is the only one that I thought would go with the design. It's the flowers from the last from a last catalogue, but obviously you can use any embossing folder that you fancy. So this is the card and this is the envelope. Look at this. I also use the embossing folder on there. The envelope you can find in the next tutorial. Okay, so you'll have to wait how I did that. Anyway, on with the card, because that's what we're here for, stamping. So we have all our bits and pieces here. And this is the inside. And these are the front panels. So what I do is I put these all nicely together like this. I don't even bother putting any glue or anything, you know, sort of a little bit of sticky tape and then rubbing it, and no, I just do it like that. I don't attach it at all. I just hold on to it with my finger. I have here So Saffron and crumb cake, in which I've now just put my finger, so I just need to go and I need to wipe that. So we have So Saffron and crumb cake, and what you just checking my fingers. What you need to do is you always need to go from the lighter color into the darker color. So don't try to get the dark color into your light ink pad. So I put some So Saffron, then I put the edges of this into the crumb cake. You are going to get ink on your edges of your stamp, so do be careful with that. And then we stamp it down. I press it really hard because I want to avoid the horrible edges. We are covering them up, but even so, and you need to make sure you don't you know, rock it, because obviously that will get that ink off the side of the stamp and onto your card. There we go. I always clean it in between because I don't want to get the crumb cake onto my... And I don't always rock it the same way. Sometimes I just tap it completely on there. So just, you know, doing it differently, getting a different effect. There we go. See, I had more crumb cake on there then. And I just do a little bit sort of on the sides as well, just filling up. Oh, I moved it then, so just move it back slightly where I think it was. Okay, let's put some more on. I don't know whether I'm liking this combination, but yeah, I think it's okay. I tried it out on the flowers, you know, the bigger flowers that I'm using, and that was okay. So I'm sure by the time this is dry, it'll be fine. Anyway, it's nice to try out different colours and different colour combinations anyway, so and you have to, because you've got those colours, so you might as well use them. There's no point, I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fan of yellow. Maybe you can tell. But I want to, how should I say it? I want to stretch myself. I want to challenge myself into using it. And also there's people out there who do like it. So you know, it's not like I'm not punishing myself for using it, but I do want to, you know, be open to everyone and everybody to find something that they like in what I make. So there you go. I try all kinds of combinations. Okay, so now we're going to go to the happy birthday, and I'm inking it up in saffron, and then I'm just going a little bit into crumb cake, and we'll see what that gives us. Okay, right, so that's that one. And I just put that one. Yes, okay, I was going to put the other one, look, have a beautiful birthday, like that. So here I graded it. I'll show you how to do it. I can't do it now, but I'll show you how to do it. Let's do this one first again. So we need to do this one to go onto our front, and I've just done the edges now. So we've got actual, and then the other stamp is this one, and I'll just stamp it on here. I'll show you how I did that. So I did the birthday like that. Then I went on to the ink pad of the crumb cake, and then I sort of slightly went into the birthday, and then you end up hopefully, yes, with a graded look. See? Yeah, so I can't, well, never mind, doesn't matter. We'll have 2 happy birthdays then. Okay, so now for this, yeah, so as you can see, I have pre-cut all these here, because obviously that would take, otherwise it would take too long, because I've got to put them through again anyway. So this obviously is too long, and it doesn't look good on the card. So what I'm going to suggest doing is this. So we're going to cut it again, but this time we're going to sort of, you know, like that, line it up like that. Okay, and you're going to put it through. I'm just doing, oopsie, I'm just doing it here. I'm not even sticking it or anything like that. I haven't got a magnetic platform. I'm just putting it through, and I just roll it through until it's clicked. So that just that bit has gone through the thing. And look, here we go. Okay, it has gone a little bit skewiff, but we can have a little, there we go. Okay, so that is that one. And then we've got these two. Obviously they need to be cut to size as well, because they're now too long. So we need to make sure there is a little bit left of them, like that, and it needs to go just about. So we're going to take both of them at the same time. Very risky, I know. And just line it up with the edge there. Okay, and we're going to put it through the big shot. Let me just realign. Okay, put the second plate on. It's on tab number 2, so that should have done it. And yes, it's come off. Look, it's here on my board. Right, so that now gives us the opportunity to make a bigger mat for our sentiment. Look, and then we glue it all together and we've got a lovely sentiment. And here there's a little edge, but here we'll put the flower over so you can't see it, and that little edge, well, you know, they're just going to have it. It's going to have to be there. You could put something else over it, but I'm not too worried about it. So let's put some glue on there, and we'll glue them both together. If you've had to do a little cut, make sure those edges are together. That's what I've been doing. So now we have, just make sure that you are working straight. So put it up against the line, and yeah, that's straight. And then this one goes on top, just covering up, yeah, and just going that way, sort of making sure that you've got the same edge going all the way around. There you go. Now we've made this into this. See? A little bit of glue and inspiration helps you to make all kinds of things. Right, okay. We're going to assemble the card now. So we put our inside in. I'm liking it more now that it's dry. Yeah. Then we are going to, before we do anything else, we need to do the embossing folder. So the big one we're going to emboss, and that you need to do on tab 1. So you open up your platform and push it through plate, and you run it through. Okay, here we go. So we now have an embossed piece of paper, and the smallest one we're going to emboss as well. I did it upside down, doesn't matter. And let's do that again. Roll it through. I'm rolling it backwards now for time. Oops. Yes, that was me being over enthusiastic now. Is it everything still in view? Let's just put that tripod back where it should be. Okay, phew, now we're ready to assemble. So we have our first mat, and onto that we're going to put our first layer. There we go. So I've called this the mat, sorry, in the piece of paper that you can download, I've called this the mat. These are the mats, and these are the panels that we stamp on, okay? Just so that you're sure about what you're doing here. And yeah, I've got all the measurements on there, so it's very handy just to keep with you when you're doing it. There's no point in trying to write down things when you're on a video, because you have to rewind it, you have to you know, look for the bit again where I'm saying particular things, so it's better to just be able to go and download it from my website. Now, right, when you're putting this together again, you need to make sure that actually you've got the right flowers, the right colour flowers, so then it looks as if you've stamped it all together, kind of thing. So I've got the crumb cake flowers here, and I've got daffodil, saffron flowers there, so yeah, I think that's right. We put some glue on. Okie dokie. So I've left this bit free so you can see the embossing. Right, and then this one goes on top of that. Okay, give it a good push because it's quite a heavy card at the front there. And then this is glued on as well, just sort of like that. And then I put the flowers. Now let me show you how I did the flower. This is the flower, and I've used the pansy punch. And once again we're going to ink up in saffron. Then you're going to roll it, rock and roll, I call it, in the crumb cake. And then in a previous video I've shown you how I marked these, so do go and have a look at that. And you stamp it in the right direction preferably, and you punch it out easily because you've stamped it in the proper way, in the way that makes it easy for you to punch it out. And then we have dimensionals, and we're putting them on the flower. And like I said, we put one flower sort of with the petal so that it covers that little edge. So you've only got that edge to worry about really, and nobody's going to see that. Well, I've told you now, but you know. There we go. And another one, because it's pleasing to have 3. Another one up there. There we go. And we have both the cards. So which one do you like best? Do you like the rose red and the plum, perfect plum? Or so saffron and crumb cake? Because that's quite an unusual combination, I would say. Right, thank you very much for watching. Go and find that download because it's really worth having it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!